Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today's video is one I've been working on for a while, and it is basically going to be quick fire reviews of all of the K-Beauty lip products that I have. There are 15 formulas and 21 shades. I have my notebook with everything, all my notes. I literally just went through all the formulas and kind of wrote down some points on each one, just so that I was hitting all of the points on each formula and comparing them equally and evenly. I have application footage of all of these products, which I'm going to insert into the video. You'll get to see a little bit of a clip of each product being applied to my lips, because I've done short form content on most of these products, or I think on all of them, and the ones I haven't, I'll film those. I just wanted to go through all of the K-Beauty lip products that I have, because I have acquired quite a collection. I think one of these was a press sample and two were gifts from my friend who was in Japan, and she bought me a couple of products, but the rest of them, so what is that? So I think it's 18 that I bought myself. And I think looking at all of these products, I'm like, okay, I just need to ease off on buying lip products right now. The first time I tried a K-Beauty product was probably about 5 years ago, and it was a can make lip gloss that my friend bought me back. The same friend who bought me a couple of the products that I have here, she went to Japan and she brought me back some products, and one of them was a can make lip gloss. And I don't think I was as into glosses at the time, but it was such a nice sheer, really glossy gloss, and it had this really cute packaging. I'll insert a photograph of what it looked like. My investigation, I suppose, into K-Beauty products was initiated by the launch of the Rare Beauty, what was it called, lip soft something lip oils, whatever it was. I have one of them. At the time when that product launched, I had seen some people talking about how it was the same formula as a lot of the K-Beauty lip tints. So rather than a lip oil, it was actually essentially like a glossy lip tint. When Rare Beauty launched that product, I ordered one of the shades, and because I had seen some people compare it to the ROMAND ones, I was like, okay, I'm going to investigate and see how they compare, because I was interested. And the Rare Beauty ones are also made in South Korea, so obviously there is going to be a similarity there. So I placed an order with Stylevana. I ordered some ROMAND lip products, and that kind of like set the ball rolling, and I ended up just kind of going down a bit of a rabbit hole, and now I have 21 K-Beauty lip products. So I thought that the best thing to do with all of this knowledge that I have now gained over the past couple of years is to just review them all and tell you what I think about them, and tell you which ones are my favorites and why. And some of them I have had for maybe nearly 2 years, and then some of them are more recent, so I'm not going to be as familiar with them, but I've tested them all enough to have like a really good idea of which ones are my favorites and why. So let's go through them. Let's get started, because we might be here for a while. I'm going to start with the least pigmented and build up towards the most pigmented, and do it that way, because I feel like that's kind of the easiest way to do it. I'm going to start with the ROMAND Glasting Water Gloss. I have the shade Meteor Track, which is a clear gloss that has like a blue pearl shimmer in it. This has a silicone applicator. It has a menthol kind of cooling effect on the lips and a menthol scent. So that might be something to consider if you are a bit kind of sensitive to scent and to those kind of ingredients. It also contains sweet almond extract to moisturize the lips. So it is kind of, you know, it's a clear gloss. I'm actually wearing it now with a lip stain underneath in the center of my lips, and this is on top. So it is very glassy, very glossy, very watery, very smooth. The only thing that really I would probably change about it is the scent, the menthol. I'm not a huge fan of menthol. It's not like a huge deal, but it's just not something that I particularly would seek in a product. I don't really mind the cooling effect. What I like to do with this is what I've done today, which is to line my lips with one of the kind of This is the Lily by Red Smiley Lip Blending Stick, and this is kind of just defines your lips and kind of contours them a little bit without much adding much colour. And then I'll apply a little stain in the centre of my lips, blend it out with my finger, and apply this on top so that it's kind of got that really glassy effect to it. And that's how I like to wear this, because it is so glossy and glassy and watery. The blue pearl in it is just really nice. This comes in 3 shades because they're that kind of clear glossy. Other two, where they're not very pigmented, they're quite sheer. If you want that really kind of juicy looking lip look, or something to layer and to apply over like a lip stain to make it really glossy, this is like such a great product for that. Please excuse the alarm going off. I apply it with the silicone applicator and then I'll wipe that off so it doesn't kind of get inside the tube. But you can kind of see there is kind of more coming down, but you can see I've used quite a bit of it, and it's just a really nice product. If you can get over the cooling sensation and the menthol scent, then this is like a really nice one. If you like super glossy lips, this is going to give you that effect. The next one is one of my more recent purchases, and this is the ROMAND Glasting Colour Gloss. I have the shade Nutty Vague. Some of the names are so funny, but it's kind of like a sheer, I guess like a sheer to medium coverage gloss, and you can kind of build it up as well so that it's much more, it has more pigment on it. You can kind of see the effect that it gives. It is quite glossy. It's very comfortable as well. It has a light scent to it, almost kind of like a slightly fruity olive oil scent. It's kind of unusual, but it's a very light fragrance in comparison to some of the other products I have. Yeah, so it's like a semi-transparent colour, and it has that Dewyful applicator. This is described as a soft and deep nude beige, and it's just such a nice colour, and I just find that it works really well in my skin tone. But it's that kind of, yeah, like browny pink gloss, but because it's like a semi-transparent or like a sheer to medium opacity, it's really easy to wear, and it's also not really sticky. It's just kind of got that really plush feeling, and it makes your lips look really nice. I definitely think that was the right shade for me to get, because it's just such a great shade, I think, on my skin tone. It's a really great neutral. It also has jojoba seed oil, so it's gonna provide a little bit of moisturization and nourishing to your lips. It's one of my favorites. I'll go over my favorites at the end, but that one is one of my favorites. The next one I have 2 shades in, and this is the Dewyful water tint. This is called Canyon. This is number 12. And then I also have the other shade, is called Cotton Melba, and it's like a peachy kind of a shade. It's kind of a glossy tint. This is Canyon. It's a little bit similar to the one I showed you previously, and it's kind of that same browny rosy kind of shade. And then Cotton Melba is a little bit more bright, but because of this formula, they're not like a really fully pigmented shade. I'm just going to show you the tint that these leave on my hand. So they are like a lip tint that has a glossy finish, as you can tell with the name, and I really like those shades. It's nice to have something that's like a bit more for summer. This shade Cotton Melba also works really well applied in the center of your lips, and then add a gloss on top to make it even more glossy. They have like a light peach scent, but it's very, very subtle. It's not offensive at all. This particular formula comes in 12 shades, and there is squalane, lavender, oregano, rosemary and thyme extract in this formula. Canyon is described as a soft sepia nude. Cotton Melba is described as a refreshing salmon peach colour, which I would agree with. So they are lovely, and they come in a lot of really nice shades as well. Next, I have another one of my favourite formulas, which are the Glasting melting balms, and I have these in 3 shades. I have Coco and Nude, which my friend got me in Japan. And that is Coco Nude. You can see the shine. Nougat Sand, which is this shade, and that's a little bit more of that kind of pinky brown tone. This is my favorite, and this is called Buffy Coral. So it is, again, a very kind of a pinky, rosy, browny, neutral shade. So you can see that they can be quite pigmented. Coco Nude is a little bit more sheer, but I would say they're kind of light to medium but buildable. And this formula comes in 15 shades. It contains argan oil, rosehip oil, evening primrose oil, mango, olive, jojoba, sweet almond, apricot, all of those oils. So it's a really, really comforting, nourishing, glossy balm, like exactly what it says. So again, this is Buffy Coral, this is Nougat Sand, and this is Coco Nude. And I mean, I really like all of them, but I just think that this is such a gorgeous, like kind of a dusty, pale, neutral shade that I just really think works so well on my skin tone. But you could wear that if you had deeper skin tones, because it is quite sheer, and you could just add lip liner to it. So it's a really gorgeous formula. I love how glossy these are. I love how nourishing they feel. They have a kind of a light, again, like that light peachy kind of a scent, similar to the Dewyful water tint. Coco Nude is described as a soft apricot beige. Nougat Sand is described as a light brown. And Buffy Coral is a coral nude softened by a light fog. I mean, how can I disagree with that? But yeah, I love that formula, and I love the shades. They have some really nice shades in that formula. Like I said, they have 15 different shades, and it is such a nice formula. It's just so nourishing, and it gives your lips that kind of, you know, it's a little bit thicker than a balm. If you have ever tried the Laneige lip sleeping mask, it's like that, but a little bit thicker and more glossy. But it also lasts really well because it's kind of a little bit thicker, kind of adheres to your lips and lasts a bit longer. So I really love that formula. One of the most popular formulas in the ROMAND lip products are the Juicy Lasting tints. There are 23 shades in this formula. So I have the shade 23 Nucadamia, which is described as a natural, moody red brown. And I would probably agree with that. And then I have Bare Grape, and this is described as a pink with a hint of beige, a natural cool toned nude. So you can see that that is a lot cooler. These have the strongest scent out of all of the K-beauty products that I have tried so far. Well, there is one that has kind of a similar strength scent to this, but this is very strong. To me, this smells like when you were a kid and you had like a yogurt, and it was like a, you know, like strawberry flavor yogurt, you know, like a really kind of not a fake fruity scent, but like that really kind of like a milky fruity scent, like a strawberry kids yogurt. That's what it smells like to me. They probably have like a medium opacity that can be built up. So this is the shade Bare Grape. That's it. So, and then this is Nucadamia. So it's like a bit warmer, kind of more of a brown. So those are those shades, and they have a nice shine to them as well. I would say they're like the more pigmented kind of like sister product to the Dewyful water tint. This is a little bit more of a sheer pigment, maybe not as glossy as these, but still like glossy. So I would say if you want like more of a tint, more of a gloss, go for these ones. And if you want something a little bit more sheer and not as glossy, then these are the ones to go for. I'd say these are probably one of the most popular products, but I prefer the Dewyful water tint, the Glasting Colour Gloss, and the Glasting Melting Balm. The scent is not, it doesn't like put me off, like it wouldn't stop me from wearing them, but I think it's the more so the pigment level is maybe a bit too much for what I want from that kind of a product, if that makes any sense. Yeah, the scent is quite strong, but it's not, it wouldn't put me off. I can see how it might bother some people. What I will say is these are great stains. They really do stain. I'm just going to show you them, my raggedy thing, but like they really do leave a good stain on your skin. It is like a nice kind of long wearing product. The gloss will fade after like a couple of hours wear, and you will get that tint, but then as you reapply, the tint will get stronger, so you'll get more pigment on your lips. So again, it's just going to depend on your personal preferences. I know that this is such a popular formula. It has one of the biggest shade ranges for ROMAND lip products. It just has a bit more colour payoff than some of the other products. So it's just going to depend on what you like, what you prefer, and the shade range as well. But yeah, if you want a bit more pigment, kind of a little bit kind of juicier, like they say, it's called the Juicy Lasting Tint. And it really does give you juicy lips and a tint that lasts. So they really nailed the name on that one, but it's just not one of my personal favorites. It could be down to the shades that I have. They have some really nice deep shades in that formula as well, which could be really nice, but I just have those two. I just find that I just prefer the other products. That's just me. Next up is another glossy tint. This is the Glasting Water Tint, and I have the shade 04 Vintage Ocean. So this comes in 12 shades. I'll try to do it in the middle here so you can see, but it's kind of like a brick red. I would say pigment wise it's maybe a little bit more sheer than the Juicy Lasting Tint, but you can build it up. Like if you go in, do a layer and then do another layer, you can actually build it up, and I can get a quite strong pigment out of this. But it is that kind of, again, that really juicy, glossy, kind of a watery gloss type of finish. It's kind of like, I guess, a mixture between the Glasting Water Gloss and the Juicy Lasting Tint. So it has that really shiny finish, but a little bit more of a tint to it. This again has that light peachy kind of scent. This particular shade is described as an intriguing red that exudes an air of vintage and modern chic. Whatever that means. It can be wear a little bit more sheer, but it is buildable then, and you can make it a little bit more of a strong color payoff. I'll see if I can do another layer. Depending on how much you put on, you can build it up, so it's a bit more opaque. So definitely something that can be applied sheer, and then I suppose if you build it up, you're going to get more gloss and more pigment, and then it leaves that tint on your lips as well. So similar to the Juicy Lasting Tint, but I think I just prefer this formula. I like that it's not as pigmented off the bat as this, and I like that this is like a little bit more glossy. So that's just my preference. That is the tint left behind from the Glasting Water Tint. So you can see it is quite a bit of pigment, and obviously the more you build it up, the more of a tint it's going to have. So that's just to kind of show you what that one can do. The next up is the ROMAND Zero Matte Lipstick, which is this one. This is the shade Ruddy Nude. My friend actually got me this. I had another shade in this, and then my friend got me this one, so I gave the other shade to my sister because the other shade was a little bit more pigmented, and she tried it on one day because she was going to make an order herself, and it was really nice on her, so I gave that to her and kept this one. So this is a soft, lightweight matte texture that's really blurring. You can kind of really like smudge it in and blend out the edges very easily, and it's not going to get everywhere and like bleed all over your lips. So you can see it is quite pigmented, and it is, I guess, what the name suggests. It's like that kind of slightly dusky brick red. It has like a hint of pink in it, and it's one of those kind of face brightening shades. It's really nice. It doesn't have a scent at all, but that is like, it's this really nice kind of a matte packaging. So I think that's the only like traditional bullet lipstick that they have, but I just think this is a really nice shade, and it's a really nice formula if you want like a kind of a matte finish. It has kind of like those waxes and silicone, kind of that kind of a feel to it, like really blurring. So you can kind of, even though it's pigmented, you can apply a little bit and then just blur it all over your lips depending on the look that you're going for. It has like a slight staining element to it, but not as much as the actual lip stains. But that one is nice if you want a matte matte lipstick that's a little bit more low maintenance, because you can just swipe it on and blur it out with your finger or a brush, and it kind of gives you that like really blurred effect that's not gonna like sit in your lip lines. It's like really flattering on your lips. So then I have the Blur Fudge tint. This is one of the first ones that I bought when I bought the Juicy Lasting tints, and it has that same kind of packaging as the Zero Matte lipstick, the little doe foot, and it's a kind of a really bright like neon red shade. Again, it's a very similar, that kind of like really waxy matte shade. This has a little bit of a tint to it as well. It has a really, really light kind of vanilla scent, I would say. But again, it's that blurring formula where you can really like blend it out and make it a bit more sheer. Or you can also build it up so that it's like a really opaque red. But I find the formula is better suited to kind of something a little bit more medium, where like the edges are all blurred out. That one actually smells really nice, and there's some really nice shades in that as well. But it does have, like, when you blend that out, it does look a little bit more kind of pink, and when I rub that off, it does have a little bit of a stain to it as well. That one is another really nice one for doing as a stain in the middle of your lips and then putting a gloss on top. It just looks really nice because it's such a vibrant red. If you put that in the middle of your lips to blend it out and then put a gloss on top, it's just really, really nice. A nice way of wearing red and making it kind of really glossy and a little bit more like fresh. So that is another one if you like mattes. It's, I suppose, the same idea as this one, but in a liquid format. So again, it just depends on your preferences, and then like the shade range that they have as well. Then I have the Zero Velvet tint, and I have two of these. This is the shade 16 Burny Nude, and then I have the shade 23 Vintage Taupe, and this one is in different packaging because it was like a collection that they did one of the years. Again, it has that really light peachy kind of a slightly fruity scent. That has a very subtle scent to it. Burny Nude is described as a nude pink, like pinkish. I think I had to translate this because I couldn't find the translation in English. But it's described as, Burny Nude is described as a nude pink, like pinkish clam under the hot summer sun. And then Vintage Taupe is described as a mocha My Lips But Better shade. So there are 21 shades in this formula, and it has olive, jojoba, grape, macadamia oils in it. Again, it has that doe foot applicator. I'll show you. This is Burny Nude. It is that kind of like brick, like a muted brick red. That's really nice blended out. I just find it like a really lovely shade. And then Vintage Taupe. See if I can do this here. This is such a nice like browny kind of a, it's still a kind of a slightly warm, or maybe more of a neutral brown. So that is Vintage Taupe, and that is Burny Nude. So they are really nice shades, and again, they can be blended with your finger. They have that kind of waxy, a really nice stain, like a blurry stain, and again, that one as well. They can be blended out. Very similar, I would say, to the Blur Fudge tint. They kind of just have different shades in this formula, and it's probably, I probably do prefer this, the Zero Velvet tint, over the Blur Fudge tint. Okay, I look a little bit different because I had to switch to a ring light. I was losing natural light far too quickly, and there was no way I was going to get through all of these products, so I just have to go with the ring light. I haven't filmed with this before, so it might look a bit weird, but I'm figuring it out. So next up is the ROMAND Milk Tea Velvet tint, and I have the shade Black Tea. So it comes in this, kind of looks like that Charlotte Tilbury lip product, and you can see like how kind of rich it is. This has such a weird scent to it. It's almost like, yeah, it kind of smells like chocolate cake. This is such a nice product. It's quite similar to the Zero Velvet tint, probably a little bit more pigment to it. There are 5 shades in this formula. They describe it as a bludging formula, which sounds awful, but it's like blurring and smudging. But I'll give you a little bit. It's that like blurring and smudging, like a really kind of waxy formula. So you can kind of see how pigmented that is, and it's this particular shade is described as a dark deep red, and that's kind of what it is. It's that really deep wine kind of blood red. Yeah, I shouldn't love the smell of it, but I kind of do. It's so nice. That leaves a little bit of a tint as well, so that's just something to keep in mind. These three formulas are similar enough that it will just really depend on the shade selection. For me, I think the Zero Velvet tint has the best shades, but the tea shades of this particular formula, they have like a rose tea, like Earl Grey. They're really like nice earthy, deep, kind of vampy autumnal shades. It's going to depend on the shades, I think, more so than the formula, because they are all quite similar in formula. Okay, I changed the light around a bit, so hopefully this is a little bit better. I know this is very frustrating and annoying to talk about, but look, we'll figure it out. So that's all of the ROMAND lip products that I have. As far as I know, I think there's only one formula of theirs that I don't have, I haven't tried, and it's their whatever their most recent one is. I think it's another like kind of a water tint kind of situation. So that's the only one of theirs that I haven't tried. I've kind of done all the ROMAND ones, and now I'm going to go through the rest of the brands in order from sheer to the most opaque. So the most recent one to my collection is this. I used this in a recent video. This is the BBIA Moomin collection lip oil, and you can kind of see it's like a sheer kind of a red. It has the same silicone applicator as the ROMAND Glasting water gloss, and this is like another really nice glassy glossy sheer that has such a nice scent to it. It smells kind of like, it smells like some like childhood sweets, like, or you know, like a strawberry sorbet or something like that, that kind of a scent. It's really nice if you like fruit, obviously. This is again really nice glassy glossy product that looks really nice layered over things. I'm actually gonna put a little bit of this on now so you can kind of see it's a really glossy. Oh, I love that one. So this is like a limited edition. BBIA have other lip products, but this particular lip oil, kind of gloss oil, only comes in 4 shades, and there's 2 that have glitter in them and they have menthol, they're plumping, and then there's 2, which is one of the ones I have. There's another one that's like a berry, and these have a tiny bit of a tint to them, but they don't have menthol. So that's why I chose this, because I just kind of was like, I don't want that menthol kind of all the time, so it's nice to have an option of like that really glossy sheer gloss with no menthol in it. So this has apricot kernel oil, jojoba, evening primrose, grape, vitamin E, and the scent is described as being marshmallow jam. I said it kind of smells like apple drops, or like a strawberry sweet, like really just really moreish kind of a scent. But this is probably, I think, one of the more expensive ones, because you can only get it on certain websites because it's like a limited edition. The other BBIA products, you can get them on like Stylevana and Yes Style, so they are a little bit less expensive. This is something that you're only going to buy if you're like a Moomin fan. Other than that, you're not really going to be interested in this. It is such a nice formula, really nice kind of a sheer shade. It doesn't really give much colour to the lips, so it's a nice one to just kind of throw on, and it feels really nourishing. Like I said, it has all of those oils in it, and you can really feel that, like that really nourishing kind of moisturising feeling, but it's still that really glossy shine. So it's a good alternative to the ROMAND Glasting water gloss for me if I don't want that menthol and I want something that's a little bit more nourishing but still really glossy. This is a nice option to have. This is a brand called Fwee, and this is their 3D voluming gloss, and I have the shade Vanilla 30%. Like the packaging is obviously like so cute. It's like a little jelly bean. There are 12 shades and it comes in 6 shades that are 30% pigment level, and then 6 shades that are 70% pigment level. So there is a corresponding 70% vanilla pigment level to correspond with this. So they are 12 different shades, but 6 of them have like less pigment than the other 6. This has, what does it have in it? Shea butter, evening primrose, olive, sweet almond oil, apricot, mango, jojoba, and vitamin E. So it is a very nourishing formula, again similar to that BBIA one, or you know, some of the like the Glasting melting balm. It has that fruity scent that's similar to the BBIA one, but not as fruity, not as strong. It's a little bit more subtle. But I love the packaging of this. The only thing that I don't like about this, I love everything else about it except the applicator, which is like, I don't know what it is about it, but I don't think it's necessarily the size, but I think it's more the amount that comes out on the applicator is like a really small amount. So I find that I have to keep going back in to get the amount that I want. But when you do, it gives you that really like plush, cushiony kind of lips, that kind of like smooths over your lips and makes them look bigger than they are without like the plumping, which is something that I really love about this. I love that kind of like sheer pinky kind of coral shade. I can forgive the applicator because I just really love how it looks on, and it just looks so nice on your lips. Yeah, it's just such a nice scent as well, and the packaging is like super cute. Everything from Fwee is so cute, but yeah, I really love this one as well. I only have 4 more left. This is the only one that was sent in PR, and it's by I don't know how to say this brand or what the story is with it, but it's by Memebox or Membox, and it's the brand I'm Meme or I'm Mem, depending on how you want to say it. And this is called the Lip Silhouette, and I have the shade Formal Beige, which is this kind of shade. I'll just give a quick little swatch so you can see. It's again that kind of like brownie kind of shade. That's the shade. It's like a brownie kind of a rosy shade. It kind of has quite an artificial kind of a fruity, like an artificial like fruity floral scent to it. It's not my favorite, I have to say. It's kind of a little bit off-putting. This is probably the most similar to the ROMAND Juicy Lasting Tint. Yeah, I'm just not mad about the scent. It kind of, it's a little bit too artificial for me. I'd go for the ROMAND ones over this one. So this comes in 8 shades, and it has squalane, vitamin E, and this shade is described as a warm tone beige with a drop of pink. And it's supposed to have a citrus scent, but I just think it's very, maybe it is, it's a little bit fruity. Yeah, maybe it's kind of like an orangey floral scent. It's just not something that I'm crazy about, but it is, like, I mean, the packaging and everything is very similar to the ROMAND. And it's a nice shade, but it's just not my favourite. I guess because I was sent it, it wasn't something that I chose myself, and I wouldn't have chosen it really. I guess if you like the shade maybe, but I just think some of the ROMAND shades are similar, and I just prefer their formulas and the scents as well. So next up is another one of my favourites, and this is the Peripera Ink Glasting Gloss, and this is the shade 07 So What. It has that kind of like big applicator with the dip in the middle. It's like a soft vanilla. Yeah, it's kind of like a soft vanilla scent, and this shade is described as an elegantly radiant soft coral beige, and it has mango, olive and jojoba oil and glass-like high shine, which I would agree with. I think this is a really nice glossy, yeah, I actually really love the smell of that. And it has a little bit of sparkle. You might not be able to see that, but it has got a little bit of sparkle in the formula. But it's just a really nice shade, really nice sheer pigment, and I just love how it looks on my lips. It's so glossy, so flattering, not sticky, just very comfortable. And who is it? I think it was Kate from, if you watch State of Kate on YouTube, I think it was her that said she reckons this is like a really good dupe for the Victoria Beckham glosses, and I would probably agree, even though I've only tried 1 shade of those. But I'd say like this is probably nicer. And so much less expensive. So this is, yeah, I really love that that gloss, and I'm so glad I tried that formula. Peripera is a kind of a sister brand to Clio. It's just a really nice shade, really nice formula, and yeah, I love everything about this. I love the little dip in the applicator that gives you like just the right amount of product on it as well. So that is a very nice formula. I love that one. This is another one that was recommended by Kate from State of Kate, and this is the Nature Republic Honey Melting Lip. So I bought 2 shades of this. I bought the shade 2 Fig, which is this one, and then I bought the shade 6 Coconut, which is this one here. So that's a little bit warmer. I love these. I would say these are almost like the ROMAND Glasting Melting Balm in like a different kind of delivery system. So let me see, where can I swatch these? So this is the shade Fig. You can see that really like glossy, balmy finish. They're just so comfortable, so nice, really shiny. But like, again, they just really adhere to your lips. And this is the shade Coconut. So that one's just a little bit warmer. But they're just both such easy shades to wear. And they're just so comfortable. They have honey, mango, evening primrose, apricot, sweet almond, olive oil, jojoba, vitamin E, and shea butter. And it's like a stick gloss balm. The colour Fig, which is this one, is described as a muted pink, an innocent vibe. Coconut is described as a coconut beige with warm nude tones. So again, they're just both really easy shades to wear. You know, they're not really very pigmented. Like, I'd say like kind of a medium opacity, but you can wear them a little bit more sheer. Yeah, but again, I just love the delivery system of like, you click this up and it comes up. Now you can't click it back down, so you just click it up as you need it, and it's just really handy. Like, I don't really have anything else that's like this, and it's just such a handy formula. And the shades are great. All of the shades are great, actually. I think there are, how many shades? There are 14 shades in this. So there are kind of some deeper shades as well. I love the packaging. I love the delivery system with the clicky pen, the shades, the scent. It's like a kind of a fruity scent. Very, very subtle. And yeah, I just think everything about these is so nice. They just feel really nourishing. So like a similar idea to the Glasting Melting Balm, but just in a different delivery system with different shades and ingredients and stuff, but still really such a nice formula, and just one that I like. I mean, there have been times when I've just layered the 2 of these and just put them in my bag, and they're just so easy to reapply. You don't need a mirror. I can just put them on, and that you can kind of like slightly overline your lips with them. It makes them look a little bit more plump. So yeah, they are a really great formula. We did it. We got to the last one. This is the Colorgram Fruity Glass Tint. So as you can see, it has like the cutest packaging of all time. It's so like retro looking. It's just so cute. And it is a little, again, a little doe foot applicator. This is the shade 02 Dewy Grapefruit. And it has glycerin and squalane in it. And it has like a very, very subtle fruity scent. Nothing really offensive. As you can see, that's such a nice kind of a rich pinky coral shade, and I would say this formula is the most similar to, it's kind of nearly like a mixture between these two, the Juicy Lasting Tint and the Glasting Water Tint. It's like a similar kind of vibe, but I think this is a bit more, has a bit more pigment to it. Let's see if I can do a swatch. Yeah, that's like a bit more pigment. You can really build this up to get like such a opaque, glossy finish. So that is it. It's such a nice, vibrant, summery shade. And I kind of got this, I think, in July or August. So I was trying to wear it over the last of the summer months because it's such a summery shade. But again, they do have some kind of more neutral shades, and they all have different, I think, different colours and different prints on them, but it's just so cute. There is some clear and like kind of like glossy, clear, kind of sparkly versions of this as well. This is kind of a mixture between those other two ROMAND ones, and again, it's gonna probably just depend on the colours that you like and the fact that this is so cute. Obviously this packaging wins for me. So that is everything. That is all of my K-beauty lip products, and I am very proud to have gone through all of that, because I knew this was a bit of a task going through all of those products, but I really hope that this roundup of quick fire reviews kind of just gives you an idea of what each of the products is all about. I just found it really hard to see what the real true color was and texture, because I just feel like some of the photos on the websites are very edited and they don't look natural and they don't look real. So I found it really hard to find like how the products actually look, and that's why I kind of like watch as many YouTube videos and other kind of short videos as I could to try and find what shades to get and what the formulas look like on and all that kind of stuff, because it's just so hard to find what they really look like. It's so hard to choose a favourite, but I would say that my most worn ones have been the Nature Republic Honey Melting Lip and the ROMAND Glasting Melting Balm. They are probably two of my most worn formulas because they're just so cushiony, so that they feel nourishing and they're very easy to use, very kind of, it doesn't involve a lot. You can just throw them on and you don't need a mirror, you don't need to kind of like fuss over like lining your lips or anything. They're just so easy to wear, and that's what I love about them. They're my most worn just because of how easy they are, and you know, they're not like, they're glossy, but they're like a balmy gloss rather than like a watery glossy gloss. Other than that, I would say I really love the Dewyful water tint. I just find that the shades and the finish and the pigment level of these I really love. Lasting Colour Gloss, that's another one of my favourites. Again, it's the shade is just so great for my skin tone, and I love how glossy and cushiony this looks on my lips. The Fwee and Peripera are two other favourites. I just love these formulas, love the packaging. I just think that they're great products, and again, they're just so easy to wear, so easy to use, and just one of those that you can throw in your bag and you don't have to worry about, you know, oh, I don't have a mirror to apply. They're just so easy to apply. These two are the newest ones for me. I got these like a couple of months ago, so while I like them, I just haven't been using them as much as the other ones, so I can't really say, you know, this is, I suppose, more of a summery colour, so I'm probably not going to wear this for a while. And then this is just such a handy one, just a really nice lip oil, very easy again to wear, but I like that I haven't had them as long as the other ones, so they haven't become favourites the way some of the other ones have. Out of all of the matte ones, my favourite probably the Zero Velvet Tint. I just like the pigment level, I like the shades. I just think that a vintage taupe shade is just so nice. But again, it's just going to depend on your colour preference and your like delivery system. You might prefer the matte lipstick instead. But overall, I am really happy with all my discoveries that I've made through this process of trying out all of these K-beauty products. I've just found some like everyday favourites that I wear again and again. And like if you were interested in trying those YSL candy glaze kind of gloss balm things, this is such a good inexpensive alternative to that. It's like basically gives you the same look, and I prefer the colours in this, even though the packaging is not as nice, but it's just, you can't beat the price. So I would just say, I suppose if you are looking for new lip products, or you just want to try something different, or you think that these sound like something that you would like, I just think that the prices can't be beaten. They're just so affordable. I'm really excited to wear the matte kind of deeper colours a little bit more kind of during the autumn and winter, because that's when I wear those kind of shades. Obviously I can do more comparison swatches to other lip products that I have. If you'd like to see that, just let me know and I can compare shades, you know, maybe to some of the other lipsticks that you have seen me using. So if you want to see that, let me know. But I hope that this was helpful, and I hope it wasn't too long and painful. But thanks very much for watching or listening, And please subscribe if you're not already, like the video and leave a comment. Let me know if you've tried any of these products or if there's any K-beauty lip products that you think that I might like. I hope that you're having a good week, and I will see you again next week with another video.